Now we're at a situation where not only the police are involved, but the FBI are involved as well. What's going on, everybody? If you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen that I posted about my BMW getting stolen. This entire situation is so ridiculous that I actually ended up making a 45-minute video about it, going into great detail, showing text message receipts, security footage of the guy coming in and out of my house and leaving with my car, his fake license that actually ended up having his real picture on it, police reports, you name it. I had all the information, and I was gonna put this motherfucker on blast. After wasting an entire day recording and editing this video, I realized a few things. One, two wrongs don't make a right. Me putting this guy on blast is just adding more fuel to the fire. Two, while getting ready to post this video, I realized that this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. There's more people involved than I thought there was. And three, I could potentially be putting a lot of people's lives in danger. I know this is very confusing, but I'm gonna try and explain this as well as I can without giving away too much information where it could impact the lives of a lot of people. All right, so let's get started. As you guys know, I own a beautiful BMW M4. I've had it for a few years now. I love the car. Recently, I got a brand new BMW X6M, a Tesla, and the other day I got a Lamborghini, my dream car. I have all these cars. My M4 kind of just sits in the driveway and I don't drive it. So I wanted to sell it. I listed my car on Facebook Marketplace because I know a couple people have used the platform. They've sold a bunch of stuff. Apparently, you know, they recommend it. So that's exactly what I did. I post the car on there. I get a bunch of offers. One of the offers seemed pretty legitimate. Got the guy's phone number, talked to him on the phone on FaceTime. I saw his face and everything. He asked me to show him around the car, show him the inside, the outside. You know, I literally give him every detail he possibly could ask for about this car. He says he's interested. He says he lives in a different state, so he was gonna fly in and purchase the car. He sends me his driver's license so I can draw up a bill of sale. He shows me his flight information of the day that he's flying in, time and everything. He even asked me if I can like pick him up from the airport. Like everything about this situation was so calculated and perfectly executed. The normal person would have never thought twice about it. I didn't pick him up from the airport. He actually ended up taking an Uber. I have security footage of him getting dropped off at my house, which I'm not gonna show you because of a lot of reasons. It's a very long story, but like I said, I'm gonna try and keep this short. We end up going on a test drive. He loves the car. He's like, all right, let's do this. Let's buy the car. Now, before I go any further, his plan was to buy the car, drive it up to New York, which is like a 2-hour drive. He was gonna get the car shipped out of there to send to the state that he's from. He had a transport company and everything. So we go into my house. He hands me the cashier's check. Everything seems legitimate. We both signed the bill of sale. I signed off the title over to him. I was happy I sold the car for the price that I wanted. He was happy he got the car, and he ended up leaving. I actually recorded a video of him leaving. Check it out.
For sure, bro. Have fun, man.
There she goes. I instantly go over to the bank to try and cash the cashier's check. Now, if you guys don't know what a cashier's check is, because I do understand there are some younger viewers of mine who may not know, cashier's checks basically validate that that money is actually in the person's account. I've used cashier's checks many times when purchasing vehicles or a product that may be very expensive, or I'll just do a wire transfer. You know, when I was first talking to him, he asked me how I would like to be paid. I said cashier's check or wire transfer, and he said, oh, cashier's check is fine. I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to the bank, I cash the cashier's check. They told me it should be in my account within 9 days, and I'm like, well, why is it gonna take 9 days? And they said, well, it's just gotta go through all these different departments and make sure that it's legitimate. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, is there any way we can speed that up? And the lady was like, well, you've been a customer with us for a very long time, so I'll override it and it'll be in your account within a day or two. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, you know, I check my bank account after. It says plus $70,000 because that's what I was selling the car for. Now, the next morning, I wake up, check my bank account. Now it says negative $70,000. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. I call the bank. They said that there's something going on with the check. It's at the fraud department. They're just double checking, making sure everything's good. I'm like, all right. I wait another day. The next morning, wake up. I get an email from the bank saying that the check was fictitious, aka it was fake. I get charged a fee for the check being fake. You know, I'm freaking out. I'm trying to get in contact with this guy who bought my car. He's actually being extremely responsive. He's like, yo man, I'm gonna get you this money. I don't know what's going on. I got a loan from this company, which on the check, it did say auto loan, and it came from Bank of America. So I went over to Bank of America, talked to a lady for 20 minutes. Basically, she told me to call the fraud department. Call the fraud department. They had me read off the top right number and the bottom left-hand number of the check, and this is apparently the check number, and I didn't know this. but those numbers are supposed to be exactly the same, and they were close. But the very last number at the top said a 6, and the last number at the bottom said a 7. So the check number was not valid. It was a completely fake check. It looked super real. Everything about this situation seemed so real, so perfectly calculated and executed. Look, this is me just summing this up, but if I showed you guys every text message like I was going to, every audio recording I had, you would have a way better understanding of my situation. So anyway, this guy keeps texting me. He's like, yo man, we're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna fly in tomorrow. We're just gonna go to the bank. I'm gonna transfer the money right there so there's no issues, because I do want this car. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's just do that. I asked where my car is. Now he says it's at a shop in New York, like he said. He said they're taking the wrap off of it and they're shipping it to me. And I'm like, well, can I have the information to that guy? Just so in case, you know, something happens where I don't actually get the money, I can get my car back. He's like, sure, no problem. Gives me all the information. My mom and I actually end up calling this guy. He says he has the car. They said they didn't take the wrap off. We basically just say, hey, look, this is a very sketchy situation. We just ask if you can please hold off on taking the wrap back until we figure out what's going on, because we don't have the money. The guy's completely understanding. He's like, look, I don't want any involvement. This guy paid me up front in cash. I don't want to be involved in a situation where the police is involved, so I'll just literally drop the car off at your house if you want me to. He asked a bunch of information just to verify that it was my car, showed pictures and videos. I even showed him a copy of the title that I had. I did take a photocopy just for my safety, just God forbid something did happen, right? This guy ends up saying he's gonna drop the car off the next day at 8 a.m., which was also the same day the guy who purchased my car was supposed to fly in and meet me at the bank. Next day rolls around, it's 9 a.m., I'm at the bank, texting this guy, he's like, I'm on my way. The guy that's supposed to deliver the car to my house, he says there's a lot of traffic, he'll be there shortly. The guy that was buying my car, it was a kid, he was like 20, he said he was 22 years old, that's what it said on his license. I get a text message from his dad, and he's like, look, I don't know what's going on, I'm out of town, I hear my son's being taken advantage of, my son will not be showing up at that bank, I'm on the phone with the place that he got his loan from. They're saying there's no way that check is fraudulent. I just think you're trying to squeeze more money out of us. You'll be hearing from my lawyers. So I'm so confused at this point. The kid that bought my car stops replying to me. I send the dad proof that, you know, look, this is the email that I got from my bank showing that there was fictitious activity. The check bounced. I don't have the money in my account. I don't know what's going on at this point. I'm getting no response from anybody. So my mom and I end up going over to the local police station. We file a report for a stolen car, explain the whole situation. This whole dad situation was literally just the guy who purchased my car. He had a fake phone number and everything. He was just trying to buy himself some time, which I didn't realize until later on. We're at the police station, we show the ID, they come back and verify that it was a fake ID that the guy gave us, because I had pictures of it. At this point, I'm like, oh my God, what do we do? They ended up running a face ID check because this guy was stupid enough to actually put his face on this ID. I guess they didn't think twice about it. They find his real name, his real address, everything. I give the police his phone number. He ends up calling me about an hour later, freaking out. He's like, look, man, I got 4 detectives calling my phone. I'll get you your car back. This is the address that it's at. I'm gonna have somebody drop it off there, and I just don't want any involvement because this is a bigger situation. I'm not the only person involved. I can't go to jail. I'm a young kid, which his real age was actually 20 instead of 22. He's like, I'm in college, I'm graduating soon, I got this going on. He's like trying to make me feel bad for him. He's like, I'm working for these other people. They were supposed to pay me to do this job. I was trying to get some money to pay for books and have some side cash. This is the location where your car is gonna be at. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going there unless the police verify. So I recorded this whole phone call. I sent it to my local police. It ends up being that my car is not actually in New York. It's somewhere in Pennsylvania, which is like an hour-and-a-half drive from me. The police work something out where the car ends up getting dropped off at a local police station in PA. The officer that I was working with, who was great this entire time, really appreciate his help. He told me, this is the police station your car is at. You have to drive up there to retrieve your car because they won't give it to anybody else. I wanted to get like a tow truck to bring it to me, but they're like, no, the police station over there needs to see you in person. They want to see your ID, check the copy of the title of the car that you have just to verify. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I drive up there. This is footage of me going to the police station. Well, yeah, we're definitely in PA because I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. It's like all farmland. All right, so we are about to be there an hour-and-a-half later. Moment of truth. Is my car actually here? Oh, it is. I see it. Wow, yep. It's right there. This is insane, dude. I'm trying to see if they did anything to it. Kind of looks the same how it did. Oh, they took the logo off the roof. Oh, wow. Was definitely not peeled like that before. Oh, I guess they had a bird on my car, too. Nice little treat. All right, let's go claim possession of it again. Gotta go inside and talk to him. Just put the plates back on my car so I can, you know, legally drive the car home. This story just gets even more twisted. I'm lost for words. This is ridiculous. So at this point, I get my car and the police tell me this information that is just mind-blowing. Basically, the guy that stole my car drove to PA, already planned this trade of my car to get another kid's car. So he traded my BMW M4 for some kid's 335i that was a couple years older than mine, which was another BMW. And on top of trading the car, he wanted $8,000 from the kid. So they made that deal. So this kid's driving around in my BMW M4 for a couple days. He ends up getting a call from the guy that bought my car, and he makes up this story and he's like, yo man, my sister was wondering why the BMW M4 wasn't in my driveway when she got home. She ended up calling the police and marking it as stolen. We just need you to go down to your local police station so they can verify the VIN and we could just make sure everything's legitimate and, you know, prove that the car isn't stolen. So this innocent kid drives my car to the police station. The police officer tells him, yeah, this car is stolen. This poor kid had to end up getting picked up by his mom from the police station. His car is now marked as stolen. It's a mess. I drive an hour and a half back home. I'm just like checking my socials and my email like I usually do, and I get a message from this kid who I'm not gonna name his name, just I want to, you know, make sure he has his privacy. He titles it Stolen M4. He's like, yo man, I just want to apologize for everything that's going on. I traded my BMW for your BMW and $8,000. He basically says he tried taking my wrap off and he apologized for it. Long story short, I end up getting in contact with this kid. I tell him to text me. I set up a Zoom interview with him. I record the entire conversation, which was footage that I was going to show you guys in that 45-minute video as well that I made. He tells me his side of the story. Basically, he listed his car on Facebook Marketplace as well. This guy reached out to him, wanted to make a trade, my M4 for his 335. No brainer, the kid accepts it. He's like, this is wild. I don't believe it, but if you bring the car to me and I see it, then we'll make the deal happen. When the guy that purchased my car left my house, he called this kid. He's like, yo, I'm on my way. The kid's like, oh crap, okay, I'll run to the bank and I'll get, you know, the 8 grand. He shows up in his driveway. He's like, yo, come on, get in, drive the car. Without even looking at the 335. And the kid's like, all right, let's go on a drive. They make the deal happen. That kid now has my M4, and the guy who purchased my car now has 8 grand and another stolen vehicle. As I said, the guy that got his BMW stolen as well made a police report. A lot of stuff has happened in between, but I've stayed in contact with him, trying to help him as much as I possibly could to get his car back. Even went over to my local police station to see what they could do. Now we're at a situation where not only the police are involved, but the FBI are involved as well. Reason being is this ended up being a bigger situation than we originally thought. We thought it was just one guy involved trying to like scam us and steal our cars. But now we've realized, based off of police reports and the FBI being involved, this is a whole ring of people that have a ton of stolen vehicles. Apparently they hire these kids to go out and do these jobs for them, basically their dirty work, and they'll pay them. It's a complete show. That's basically the most information I have so far. I don't want to put any of the guy's images out there. I have a ton of images of his face. Even the guy with the 335, he had pictures with him. At this point, I want to completely separate myself from this whole situation. But I do know that I informed a lot of you on my social media. It's like, yo, my car got stolen. I'm gonna make a full video about it, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to just completely post nothing about it. I want to, you know, share my side of the story. But I was gonna put this guy on blast. But knowing all the information I do now, it's very possible I could be putting 1, my life in danger, 2, the guy's life in danger with the 335, which his car is still stolen, by the way, and 3, even maybe the guy that stole my car, his life in danger. I don't know. I've been lied to and deceived a lot this whole time, so I'm just gonna let the police and the FBI handle the situation. Hopefully this clears everything up for you guys. I have my car back now, which is the good thing. I'm hoping and praying the other guy gets his car back and everything get situated. Moving forward, if I make any type of big transaction like this, I will make sure that I have those funds in my bank account before I give anybody that car, or any other product for that matter. I hope some of you out there can learn from my mistakes and you don't make the same mistake. So this is just another life lesson. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the situation.